Chapter 13. After the ache. There's a moment in healing when everything goes quiet. Not because you've stopped feeling, but because the loop has. You're no longer driven by the ache, no longer chasing someone to complete a sentence left unfinished in childhood, no longer reaching for the ghost of what didn't arrive, and into that quiet, something new begins to rise. Clarity. That's where Bob found himself, eventually. But not before a long road that almost broke him. By Woman 5, Bob still believed sex could lead to connection. If the moment was right, if the woman was open, if the chemistry clicked. By Woman 15, he'd started to lose hope. The spark still showed up sometimes, but never the thing he actually wanted. Never that moment of being seen. By Woman 21, Bob had stopped pretending. The search wasn't for pleasure. It wasn't even for love. It was for resonance. And it never showed up. Not once, because he was chasing it backwards. You can't find connection through sex. You have to find connection first, and let sex flow from that. No one had ever told him that. What they had told him was that healing came through discipline, through therapy, through God, through performance, but none of it touched the root, because the root wasn't trauma, it wasn't lust, it wasn't even loneliness. The root was attachment, and that I would learn later is the spine of the soul. Everything hangs off of it. You can't bypass it with sex. You can't numb it with success. You can't pray it away. You can't logic it clean. Once cared for people can heal a room with their presence, but an avoidant, unhealed, and unaware can poison a city. Real power is knowing how to be with another, not control them, not fix them, be with them, and still remain whole. Bob didn't know how to do that, so he slept with women and stayed disconnected. He pursued, he pulled back. He tried to earn his way into worthiness, but every time it got close, his body flinched. His nervous system didn't trust stillness, and that meant it couldn't trust love. See, no one tells you this. You don't have to want chaos for it to rule you. You just have to keep running from the quiet. Because the quiet is where all your patterns get revealed. The part where there's no spark, no fire, just someone looking at you without agenda. And staying. That's what it feels like to meet someone after the ache. Not butterflies, stillness. And for someone who's only known storms, stillness feels suspicious. But this is what the healed chooser is made for. Not for drama, not for reenactment, not for chasing, for truth, for presence, for union. This is the part no one talks about. The part where real love doesn't knock you over. It doesn't sweep you off your feet. It lights slowly in the center of your chest and burns clean. You laugh more, sleep deeper. Tell the truth without rehearsing it. You stop watching their eyes for signs of leaving. You stop scanning the room for threat. Because you're not in survival anymore. You're in resonance. That's what Bob didn't know for so long, that the thing he was looking for wasn't a woman's body. It was a return to the thread, that thread he was born with, the one God gave him, the one that tugs when something's real, the one that strikes like flint in the chest when truth is spoken. That thread is the compass, and the ember, the truth striker inside, is the fire. If you hold the thread and let the ember strike, your voice becomes clear. You stand with dignity. You know who you are. But drop one, lose the thread or silence the ember, and your voice frays. You become incoherent. You chase what hurts. You call it love. And that's what Bob did for years, until one day the ache went quiet, and the real thing, what he'd been seeking all along, began to rise. Not fantasy, not fire, but clarity. And that clarity didn't burn him. It warmed him. It held him. It stayed.